Hello everybody, Beneficial Z here, and welcome to Farming Valley, which is a Minecraft mod, as you can see. I'll just name this Modpack Adventure. I can't spell, okay. Nah. Alright. Here we go. This is going to be interesting, guys. And you're going to see why. Turn up the desktop audio. Loading world. Building terrain. Well, let's hope it doesn't do this forever. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to change this. Oops. Transform, edit transform. Okay. Alright. There we go. Wonderfowl. What the heck? Look at the sky! Oh, also... Yeah, this is interesting. It's like Stardew Valley or... I don't know. Is the googly eyes thing on here? Hey there, little... Wait, how do you tame a bird? This is a nice place. Oh, look. How to summon the harvest goddess. Okay. Ooh! Recipe book. Round trees. Something Minecraft never did. Well, that was weird. Well, that's an old achievement. Every time you get an achievement, those fireworks go off. Let me just double check if it's too loud. No. Should be good. That's right, bitches. I'm mining with the book. And yes, it's like a Fortnite map. Alright. Alright, bird's nest. Ooh. Raw fish. This book will show you how to summon the harvest goddess. This pack is balanced around the harvest festival. In this pack, your goal is to build up a town, harvest crops, sell them at your town to get coins. These coins are used to buy items and parts for other mods in the pack. This way is the only way to get those items if you want to play around with those mods. To begin, you need to summon the harvest goddess. Find 3 vanilla flowers. Okay, are these vanilla flowers? Oh, you mean like... one flower pot and a bucket with water. Alright, so... Interesting music. Alright, so I guess I need to find iron? How do you make a flower pot? Okay, I need bricks. Oh my goodness. Don't tell me that I just stumbled upon a woodland mansion. Oh, hey there. What is this? Was there a village here? Are villages even in this game? What the heck? Hey, Mickey. Okay. Where am I? What is this? What the heck? That's a half house. No, what is this? This is like a cabin in the woods thing? Is this a horror game? Where am I? I need to get bricks. Or I could just steal a flower pot. How did I find a village? Mickey, tell me. Ike the something. He's got googly eyes. Oh shit. It's 6 a.m. So I need iron. Apparently it's really rare in this mod pack. My cat's using the litter box. I can hear him from here. Huh. Hey, I get this something. Okay, what was I gonna do? Yes, sticks, and then fireworks. We'll play shortly, or not. Some of these look like the old textures. Martin the Lazy. Oh, I see what they mean by lazy. Why did I spawn near a village? This game is all about making your own village. Spoilers. Not really. Apparently, you can level up your items in this game. How is the audio for the game, by the way? Is it too loud, too quiet? Alright, I got the coal. I got some of it. I need this. Apparently I need to find iron and get brick. Which I need clay for. Like the rainbow! Look at the rainbow! Yahoo! I'm just not sure what I found here. Huh. Martin the Lazy. Hey, Mickey. Oh, hey, Bailey. Bailey's Dailies. Make mushrooms too. I can do that. What the heck? Oh man. I don't remember. Oh yeah. Oh, bird's nest. Oh yeah, I grabbed that torch. What is this, a church? There, you're free, buddy. That's the parapet. I'm really confused here. I need to like start this off on the right foot, and I need brick for that, which is kind of crazy because brick is hard to find. I need brick and iron. And it looks like dark, but it's not. It's 11:36, 11:42. I need clay to make bricks. So I need to find a body of water that has clay in it. Hey, Mr. Squid. What if I hit him? No. I am really confused. Oh, that's a beehive. Don't hit it. What the hell? That's an owl. I just heard this ear-piercing noise and I'm like, what the hell is that? What did I pick up? Industrial hemp seeds? Is there a ravine in here? That's coral. I didn't pick up the coral. This isn't the version with the water breeder, but it'd be pretty cool if it was. Am I the only one who's horrified by that? Oh, and what's this? Are these bricks? No, those are stone bricks. Hey, horsies. That a hummingbird? Dude, this is so cool. Pink trees. So kawaii. That's like what you see in every anime. Is that clay over there? Watch out for the bees. No, that's gravel. I should not be here yet. I should not be here yet. Wow. Shit. No, I'm not going down there. Bees. Ah! Bees! Where do I find clay? A hole? No, that's just stone. Get up! Shit, I'm about to die already? Are you kidding me? Alright, let's start this adventure over then. I don't know where I died. Dude, that's an old achievement. Stop it! These. I need one of these. Oh no. I lost my book. Save and quit the title, and we are going to delete this world. Let's redo this. Let's restart this, okay? Oh. Create new world. No, I don't want to open Visual Boy Advance. Are you kidding me? Whoa! Okay. Tiny trees, I guess. Blue jays. Cool. Do we always spawn near a village? So don't die or you'll lose all your stuff. Stop it! Hello, Mr. Windmill. I guess I could use one of these. Okay then. Cooked chicken, raw beef, cooked steak, raw pork chop, cooked pork chop, raw chicken, raw beef. Dang it. I need clay. Hey Rob. Hey Bill. No, I'm kidding. Natasha. Natasha's a boy, guys. It's transgender. She's transgender. I guess she wants to be called Natasha, so she's a girl. Hey Vinny. We always knew Vinny from Vsauce would look like that. I mean, come on, let's face it. This'll be my house. No. Well, no, this is not Minecraft. This is... Karen? What have you been smoking, Karen? Oh, hey. How do you say that name? I don't know. Alan. Alan from 2.5 Men. I need clay so I can make bricks. Or if there's a building made of bricks, I'll take that too. Is that a note block? Ah! Ooh! Iron leggings and iron chest plate. Large chest is empty. Time to go in the water. Ow! No clay? It's already 4 o'clock here. Hey, Karen. Hey, Rob. Do I always spawn near a village? I think that's what I need. What do you got there? Oh. Is that thing just gonna keep bothering me for all of eternity? Ostriches? Can you ride them? Oh, I want to ride an ostrich. Hey there. Look at that planet over there. Is that a desert temple? Guess my cap lock is on. A desert temple before desert temples existed? Wait, is this bone? What the heck just happened? I'm having a bad time here. I want to see what this is. It is bone! Does that mean there's skeletons here? I can't turn that back into bones, can I? I can turn it into a bunch of bone meal. Okay, I need clay. Open the land. Allow cheats on. Start land world. Allow access. Okay. And now oh. Wait. Oh, okay, okay. I gotta sleep. But then we'll... Holy shit. Then we'll start creating our village. Alright, so I need to get a furnace, apparently. Which shouldn't be that hard. I just need some cobblestone. Here we go. Alright, I got 8. I have wood, so... Damn it! Also, you replenish your food every time. Every time you sleep. Are you kidding me? Wait. 2. 3. Stop it. I can't do that. I seriously have to do it this way? Oh, you see the donkeys over there? I knew I wouldn't get it back. Oh man, I need 2. Wow, this sucks. This time let's put it right next to it. There. Oh, no, I only need one power pot. Alright, and now I need to make a bucket, so I need to get iron. Also, I was going to do this. Stop it! You know what? Screw it. There. I just want to get on with the real game. Alright. Holy crap. Look at that rainbow. Guess. And then bam. Yeah. Alright, put the flowers. The flowers. Are these vanilla? They're not even real. You have to use the crafting table very little in this game. That's from Botania. That's just a dead bush. Well, that just despawned before my very eyes. I need yellow flowers. There's lava in there, isn't there? No, there's just random lighting. Ooh. Aha. Dang it. There's probably flowers around this village. This isn't the village, is it? This is just a random house. This is an abandoned house. Okay. Why? I know. Alright, fuck it. Oh my gosh. Okay. Does those not sound like demons to you guys? Oh, I see them over there. I am so confused. Those are biomes of plenty, so I can't use them. I still have the flower pot. Here, this is what I need. Dandelion, the thing that I can't make apparently, or summon. Hello there, heron. I know what herons are. Alright, here we go. Alright, water bucket. Oh shit. I think I've got everything I need. Okay. And then I need a stick. And I gotta... Nope. Alright, let's see. Alright, watch this. Hello, my dear. Hello, my dear. I'm not sure if I recognize you. Have we met? Is this your first time playing? Yes, it is. Well then, nice to meet you. I am the Harvest Goddess. I'd like to tell you a little story. A long time ago, this land we live in was filled with a bustling village. The people there were removed from their homes by a crazy storm, forced out of their homes. And now I hear that they want to return back home, where they belong. But they need your help. Oh, and just to let you know, I will poof after a while. You can always respond to me with the goddess flower. I'll leave you one every time I leave. I think that's all I have to tell you. For now, see you later. Alright, I'm going to save and quit the tile so I can close it from land. Play selected world. Alright, finally. Took 48 minutes to get to the first part. Alright. Why, hello. It's nice to see you again. I've had a little thought about how we can get the town started. I've heard rumors about this fellow named Ulif. That a fellow named Ulif is an excellent carpenter. He and his sister have been looking to take on a project, and this could just be the right thing for them. Jade would be a perfect fit, too, as she loves nature and would be a great asset for getting started. I think we just need something to entice them. Hello. Perhaps if you can fetch me 24 logs, then I have something for you that might just might work. 24, that's 24. Ooh, dude, it took me 48 minutes to get to the first freaking part of the game. Are you kidding me? Shit. Oh no. Well, that sucks. Ha. Don't mind me, just not saving. No, don't open Dolphin! Go away, Discord. Nobody wants to see you. Go away that. Go away that. Dolphin! No! I hate my computer! Are you fucking kidding me? Gotta launch it from Twitch. Play. This sucks. I hate my life. But yeah, if you want to get this mod for yourself, I guess I'll link it in the description. Or I could just do that later, because... Make it bigger. I should have closed it in Task Manager. It's not going to save, is it? I've just ruined my whole life. No more ravines. I hit the crash button, I swear I did. It's gonna take forever. Stopped responding. That's wonderful. This episode is canceled. Bye.